On May 3rd, 2024, officers responded to a Kohl's department store following a loss prevention report of active merchandise concealment. Before the arrest, officers consulted the state attorney's office regarding a potential burglary upgrade, a procedurally sound step that reflects disciplined charging judgment. Under most state retail theft statutes, the offense is complete when a subject passes the last point of sale with unpurchased merchandise. Waiting for the subject to exit provides unambiguous proof of criminal intent. However, the burglary theory applied here is actively litigated nationwide. The argument that a person entering a public store with preformed intent to steal exceeds the scope of consent to enter remains jurisdiction dependent and is not universally accepted by appellate courts.
She is in there in the back. She can't see the entrance or exits right now, grabbing a suitcase. She's already concealed a bunch of stuff. So I'm not trying to force either way. They're like, obviously they kind of want to wait it out, let her walk out with it so we get a good case on her.
Okay.
If she doesn't have cash on her, I've already confirmed the state's attorney they'll charge burglary.
Okay.
So if we do want to just go in and get it done with and then find that she has no cash on her, we're still good to take her.
Is the suitcase hers or was it?
Nope, she's grabbing it from the store. And it looks like she's going to fill it up. So we can since she can't see, I can walk into the LP office, watch cameras with him and update, or we can go in now. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, let's just update if you want to do that. If you want to go in and look at the cameras.
I'll go in there. I'll be right back.
Okay. Go ahead, 791. She's here.
Oh, shit.
Put your arms behind your back. Put your arms behind your back. Yeah, you can drop it.
Alright, I got it.
Oh, goodness. Got your ID in here?
No, I don't have
Bobby ID, what's your name?
Taser.
Taser what?
More.
Taser Moore.
Yeah.
You know why you're being stopped, I know.
Yeah.
We'll take you over this way and I'll talk with you, okay?
Okay.
You guys mind grabbing pictures of that and then a receipt, please? Go and have a seat in here, dude.
Is there any way that you could make a phone call?
Okay, give me 1 second, okay? What was your intention of coming here today?
I was just getting some clothes for me and my kids.
Okay. Did you intend to steal it? Yeah. Okay. Do you have any like credit cards or money or anything on you?
No, I don't.
No? Nothing in your car?
No, I have a bank card in my car.
Okay. But essentially no money to pay for the merchandise, though, is what I'm trying to get. No methods of payment on your person to pay for the merchandise.
Are you talking about on my personal body?
Mm-hmm.
No, it was in my car.
Okay. Alrighty. And you came here today to steal that, is that right?
No. I came here to pick somebody up, and when they wasn't here, then I just swung by the store.
Okay.
Something stupid I shouldn't have
done. Okay. So what was your purpose of coming here, though? You know, to get clothes?
Yeah, I was coming to shop. Mm-hmm.
Okay. But you essentially had no way to pay for it, though?
Yeah, I mean, I had ways to pay for it in my car.
Okay. All right. You want to hop out right here real quick?
Yes.
Go ahead and face the car here for me.
The significant legal issue in this footage is the apparent absence of a Miranda advisement prior to custodial interrogation. Under Miranda versus Arizona 1966, once a subject is in custody, any interrogation requires prior advisement of the right to remain silent, the right to counsel, and the warning that statements may be used in court. The subject was handcuffed and under arrest when officers asked, "What was your intention of coming here today, and you intend to steal it?" These are direct, incriminating questions posed during custodial detention, a textbook Miranda trigger. Her admission, is the prosecution's strongest evidence and also its most suppression vulnerable.
Yeah.
Howdy.
Pussy, good. Tell me like you. So there was merchandise stuffed into the suitcase, is that right?
Yeah, yeah. It's 22 something. It's 19 after sales, but they don't do sales, so it's 22.
And that purse wasn't hers either?
It is. It's not here, so technically it's her
brand
decoy
new
purse. I'm sure she stole it from somewhere else.
brand new purse.
Yeah, 100%.
She's gonna go for burglary and felony retail theft for
Yeah.
sure. So.
And I don't know if Dalton McDonald told you, I'll take it if you want. I don't mind taking it.
Yeah.
I always offer when it's here.
If you just don't like, it looks like you're uploading the pictures now.
Yeah, so I'm gonna upload pictures. I'm sending him the community invite to send it. Do you know?
The video.
I just fill this out with his information, right? It's a community member, and you send it. And
And then if you get it, there's a way that you can share it with me, but I don't know how to do that.
Oh,
so that way I can just look at it and put it in and do everything. So.
Oh, that's massive.
Cool.
And then, do you want me to write us up for this part?
No, I'll just document that there was merchandise found inside the suitcase. It was full $2,000 some dollars
She
worth.
tell you they're gonna try and flip her.
Yeah.
I'll see. I'll be interested.
She's from Indiana, so I've never done that. So McDonald's is talking to her now. But,
Nice.
yeah.
All right. Anything else you need me to do?
Nope.
What's going on?
Great. Like, pretty much everything in this car is probably stolen.
What all you see in this bag? What else?
Yeah,
Oh, she got a lot of stuff
yeah,
in
all
Lowe's.
this stuff, it's all in Lowe's bags, but none of it is from the Lowe's store. So you've got this, which is the MO of concealing another bag. Both of these are, I don't know where the lunchbox is from.
Those are from TJ Maxx?
Yeah, these are
Guessing that is probably from TJ Maxx as well.
Yeah. And it's
You
all,
found stuff in here?
Yeah, that's where all of it was.
All this?
Pretty much all of it. That's
Oh, where she got this from?
yeah, I don't know, cause like that's all makeup. So again, not from Lowe's. That's TJ Maxx, I think. Or no, there's some stuff in Meyer too. I'm not sure where that came from. I don't think it says on there. I think, is Dickies a Walmart brand though?
I'm not sure.
I think that stuff is all from Meyer.
This stuff?
Got some of that makeup stores in the mall.
Okay.
Oh, there's this gold. Who knows where the heck this is from? So like, even in the glove box. It's like full of these things.
Right.
But here's all of her extra Lowe's bag.
Is that her phone right there?
I haven't
Guessing.
touched the phone. There's another phone in this bag here.
Okay.
This looks like it's actually her belongings.
Alright,
So I don't know. I don't know if she like keeps this in her purse.
right.
So that way she can just pull it out quick before she goes into the store. So she doesn't have any ID on her or something.
Let me call Meyer real quick.
Okay. What is the name of that makeup place in the mall? I don't even remember.
You think we should just seize everything that's in there that looks like stolen merchandise? Because a lot of that stuff is. Seems like it. There's like, hey, is this Matthew? Hey, it's Officer LaRue Champagne. We're out with a lady over here at Kohl's. I don't know if you guys had anything over there where a black female wearing like some blue purple scrubs came in and stole anything today. Shh. Shh. Well, yeah, yes, I think so. We do, and she's gonna go to jail today for stealing from Kohl's. And we were just calling you guys because there looks like there's some more stolen merchandise in her vehicle. Natasha, there's a lot of other stolen merchandise in your vehicle. Where'd you get that from?
That's not stolen. That's not stolen. That stuff been in my vehicle. It's not stolen.
Where did you get that from?
It came from the store at home. That stuff is old. This stuff, none of that stuff is stolen.
Oh, I've already been in contact with Meyer.
I didn't get nothing out of my mind.
Looks like you were there today.
I didn't get nothing out of mine.
You didn't take nothing out of there? So what's the camera footage going to show?
I didn't take nothing out of mine.
Were you there today?
But I didn't take nothing out of mine.
What other stores were you at today?
That's it. Just Myers, and I went to a gas station. That was it.
Okay. Who's your friend? Who's your friend that you dropped off?
No, I was supposed to pick up a friend.
Oh, you're supposed to pick up
his
from
name
where?
is Robert Lee. I was supposed to pick him up from the jury inn. That's the reason I ended up down.
Okay.
And he was already gone once I got here.
Okay. Alrighty. So, I would argue that that stuff is stolen in your vehicle. So we're going to impound your vehicle, okay, and we're seizing all the stuff that's in there. Okay? And then you're going to go to county for a couple felonies. Alright? So we're going to get you going here shortly.
Okay.
The vehicle search is legally supported under Arizona versus Gant 2009. Officers may conduct a warrantless search incident to arrest when there is reasonable belief the vehicle contains evidence of the offense. Given active theft indicators and visible merchandise, that threshold is met. Upon impoundment, a second legal basis activates independently the inventory search doctrine under Illinois versus Lafayette 1983. This means the vehicle evidence would likely survive suppression even if the arrest incident search were challenged. The merchandise found across multiple bags bearing tags from TJ Maxx, Meijer, and other retailers satisfies the pattern element of organized retail crime statutes in most jurisdictions. 2 or more thefts, coordinated methodology, commercial scale value. Officers receive a B+. Tactical coordination was professional. The vehicle search was constitutionally grounded, and interagency follow-up with TJ Maxx was proactive. The Miranda gap, however, creates real suppression risk on the most probative admissions. The subject receives a D, multi-store theft pattern, use of concealment devices, out-of-state travel, and voluntary incriminating admissions without invoking the Fifth Amendment combine to produce maximum legal exposure. Kohl's loss prevention receives an A-. Strategic patience, clean officer, coordination, and immediate evidence documentation reflect LP training aligned with prosecutorial evidentiary requirements. Key lesson: Miranda compliance is not optional. It is prosecutorial insurance. Admissions obtained without prior advisement during custodial interrogation are suppressible, regardless of how clearly guilt is established by other evidence. A single procedural omission can strip the case of its most compelling testimony. When physical evidence is strong, protect it by ensuring the verbal record is equally clean. Let us know if there is an interaction or legal topic you would like us to discuss in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to check out our second channel, Street Bodycam, for more police interaction and courtroom content.